This all started decades ago, up in the woods of northern Michigan. We would take these camping trips once or twice or 3 times a year. My parents and my brother Kyle and I, and later my sister, and the dogs, of course. We'd spend a week at our favorite lake, sometimes 2 weeks. We'd fish and swim and catch frogs and ride bikes and make big campfires every night. Or we'd go with my dad on a hunting trip and camp while he hunted. Much of the time it was just me and my brother exploring the woods together, mapping out the unknown. Those trips created me. Without them, there'd be no sleeping beneath the Milky Way in the Virginia highlands. There'd be no climbing through the cloud forests of Mount LeConte. There'd be no memories to be stirred by the October waters of Pennsylvania. There'd be no trail tribe. No beyond the campfire. If those camping trips had never happened, I'd be unrecognizable to myself. I don't think I'd want to recognize myself. But they did happen. I was blessed with parents who took me into the woods, and a brother who explored them with me, and a sister who followed those same paths. I was bequeathed a whole interior landscape of cold, glassy lakes and mysterious trails, and forests of birch and alder and pine, and the midnight crying of the loon. Now, at last, I was returning to the North Woods for a backpacking trip, and I wasn't going alone. For the first time in many years, my brother and I were going up north. Our destination is Grand Island. It's located off the shore of Munising in the Upper Peninsula. As we wait for the ferry that will take us there, we see the island rising out of the cold waters of Lake Superior. We begin to imagine what we might find there in our 3 days of exploring. As soon as we're on the trail, I realize how terribly I've missed these things. Birch bark unfurling like a wizard's scroll. The sound of waves lapping beneath our feet. Water so clear it's almost invisible. Catching up with my brother and talking about old friends and old times. And there's a smell in the air that transports me back to those childhood camping trips. I feel like I've come home. I've never been to this place before, but it feels familiar. I think feeling at home in an unfamiliar place is one of the best feelings.
They're hard to.
Huh?
I don't think they look like much.
I don't think so. I just can't remember. I think they're just really gray plain. Yeah, crack. I don't know what he wants. What sucks is that apparently this trail is impassable if you continue on. Because of that bridge.
Yeah, it looks like you have to take that other one, which would take you...
We make camp somewhere near the northern tip of the island. There's nobody else around. We spend the evening upon the edge of a cliff, eating dinner, telling stories, gazing over that greatest of Great Lakes.
I'm gonna vote probably not to do that.
Throughout my life, I've spent a lot of time gazing over waters just like this. So much time that I sometimes ask myself what I'm looking for in all that water. But maybe that's the wrong question. Maybe in all my wandering, I'm only ever trying to get back to the shore of one of these northern lakes. And when I finally reach one, I can't think of a good reason to tear myself away.
They're hitting.
Like, I can feel it. Not right now, but when I'm gonna get it to my perspective, I can feel it like in this area.
Yeah, last night it was all moving around.
Choking you to death.
Yep,
That's nice.
panicking.
You have another one.
We spend the morning marching through the malarial depths of the island. The mosquitoes are so bad that we don't stop until we reach Echo Lake. It's an appropriate name for a place echoing with the memories of every Michigan lake I've ever visited. We stay there for a while. We refill our water bottles and eat lunch, and we look at the map and decide on a place to make camp later.
Yeah. I think that sounds like a pretty good plan. Maybe tonight we can camp like somewhere around this intersection, you know, and that like bathrooms are there, the beach is there. Like if we could camp like in this vicinity somewhere, that would be great.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right.
I love lakes like this. Michigan lakes are just,
Yeah.
I miss them.
chicken teriyaki with
Got my ramen instead.
I really wasn't thinking about it. I mean, I was super fatigued and like couldn't think very well.
That was that.
Human gear.
Oh, yours is human gear too?
Is yours?
Yeah.
It was Mariani. I thought they were aesthetically pleasing and cheap.
For some reason, that kind of stuff is really cheap. For some reason, that kind of stuff is really cheap.
Well, they did have a version that was about 10 times the price. It was 0.1 ounces lighter.
Those backpackers will pay for that. It's a long evening at camp. Kyle invents a game to play with his friends. I'm filled with words that I'm compelled to write down. It was always like this. We were always at our most creative when we were in the woods, as if being at the edge of the unknown stoked our imaginations to full blaze. It feels good to settle into the place and let our imaginations roam. We talk and play for hours, and then comes a wildfire sunset.
Swimming weather. It's amazing to swim right now. Milky looking water.
Maybe.
It's probably a few days. What?
After a morning of hiking, we reached Trout Bay. The water is cold, but not unbearably so. We wash off the dust of the trail, the salty sweat, the smeared blood of 100 mosquito bites. The water seems to wake me from a long dream. When I submerge myself, I almost expect to come up gasping in the shallow water of the old lake. Dogs panting on the shore, mom sunning on an inflatable raft, dad swimming among the sunken trees. Like a baptism in some fountain of youth. There's a moment of such overwhelming joy that I feel I must be a child again because only children are capable of such joy. Or so I had thought. We'd never settled on an explicit goal for this trip, but once we've dried off, we agree that we found whatever it was that we were seeking here. And so, satisfied with what we've seen and done, we begin to walk back toward the docks. There's still a lot to see. A cemetery from the island's first settlement, the shipwrecked expanse of Murray Bay, a black bear loping through the trees. It occurs to me that these are the very things that filled the invented worlds of our childhood. Dangerous creatures, sunken treasure, drowned ghosts. It's almost as if we're living out the fantastic adventures we dreamed up when we were kids. And I suppose, in a way, that's exactly what we're doing.
I don't think I did right, but it was just a little something I could do. I mean, it wasn't. Could I take my...
Yeah, you feel like all of a sudden you're just gonna be like.
Yeah, you just do generally not like any TV show.
Except Hotel Hell. Better look at Gordon Ramsay's ass.
Action.
Yeah, don't open it in my
Action.
The way that I feel right now.
You mean choking to death last night
Yeah.
on your own effluvia?
That water feels like a hot tub.
Seems like something to say that's not too much of a lie.
Ugh. It's a berry.
They're gone.
If you enjoy watching me eat, check out my other content.
You can go ahead anytime you want.
I'm still looking.